Another set of teams looking to get into that top 8 were the Paris Eternal when they matched up against the San Francisco Shock earlier in the day. And this one meant a lot for both squads. You had to think those Shock had more pressure. This was their 7th and final match here in Stage 1.
I tell you what, I think, you know, the Shock, they get to the playoffs and they kind of sneak in as a 7 or 8. What would you call them? Like a snaky team, right?
A snaky team, yeah.
Nothing with a snaky team.
Oh, yeah,
like, they're a snake you don't want to see in that first round, right? I mean, if you're Vancouver or NYXL, the Shock have played you close twice.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, for either team, right? So, and now you get a little bit more time to prep coming into it. I think the Shock could be a problem.
Exactly. Yeah, this is going to be problematic now, I think, for the top teams, Vancouver Titans and New York Excel coming into this. Like, Shock, this match was honestly actually a better showing from Paris as well. I don't want to discredit them too much because we saw improvements from them actually across the board. But the difference maker, it comes to it again, is the thing that we pointed out, it's the Zarya play. Big discrepancies between it. And we saw Sinatra really just absolutely going ham on the Zarya.
20,000 damage on Hollywood alone.
He does it casually. I mean,
yeah, that's actually true. He makes it look so very easy.
I want to say, too, a player I've been pretty impressed with Paris lately, you know, watching them, you know, casting one of the games the other day. I thought Ben Best has been playing really well.
Way better than anyone expected, I think. After watching him in the World Cup, he has stepped his game up. Zoe, when you were watching these games play out, though, we saw Shock coming into Horizon. Did you think Paris was going to battle back in the second half, or was this Shock's all the way?
I mean, I honestly thought it's going to be Shock all the way. I did feel like the first map was very scrappy, got a little bit better on the second one. Paris Eternal, I felt like their support ults were still just not very on. I felt like there were a lot of wasted transcendences. I did like all the grab and bomb combos they were playing. Like Finzi, again, he really, really stood out, but I didn't think it would get any closer in the second.
There's an example of Finzi on that Diva, dropping one up and picking off the Shock, and arguably this is the moment that may come back and haunt the Shock. They dropped that 4th map. They needed a 4-0 map count to really feel good going into these playoffs.